Hi, good evening. I'm Sandeep, and you're watching The Weekender at 5. In today's headlines, COVID-19 update, 80 new community cases were reported in New Zealand today. The Ministry of Health has reported 80 new community cases of COVID-19 as Auckland's border restrictions are due to lift today at 11:59 p.m. In another news, torrential downpours hit Auckland ahead of storm. Heavy rain has already begun drenching parts of Auckland just hours ahead of the region's borders reopening, setting the co-opted residents out into the country's wilderness. NEVA says tropical moisture combined with the cloud connection from the tropics to New Zealand has fueled perfectly for thunderstorms, which will soon include strong winds and heavy rain to smash the country over the next 24 hours. The, the Met Service this afternoon said the rain, which has now hit Auckland, will likely remain persistent for the remainder of the day. Counties Energy and Vector are now warning Aucklanders of possible outages this evening due to high winds. In another news for today, National Party gets an immediate boost in its polling since coming of new leader Chris Luxon at the helm of affairs, as reported in the Taxpayers Union Curia poll. The party has seen a bump of 6.4% votes, taking it above the 30% threshold since a long time. The poll out today has national polling at 32.6%, while ACT Party has dropped by 5.3% to 10.6%. Chris Luxon had almost immediately rocketed up to 20.4% as preferred prime minister, up by 16 points from before he was the leader. ACT Party's David Seymour has dropped almost 5 points as preferred prime minister to just 5.6%. However, Luxon's rise seemed to have not dented on the Labour and the centre left votes in the polls at all. The Labour was steady on 39.5%, and the Green Party had bumped up by 2.3% to 10.9%, taking the total of centre left votes to 50.1%, which will place them comfortably in the government in elections. Omicron uncertainty may put international travel plans at risk, says government. The government is adding caution to its plan for reconnecting New Zealand with the rest of the world early next year. COVID response minister Chris Hipkins said earlier today that it will still be flyer be aware in light of Omicron for people hoping to travel overseas from January as the border begins reopening. The government has announced in August earlier this year its four-step plan to reopen international borders, and last month gave details about the timeframes and other decisions around MIQ, giving three important dates of 17th January, 14th February, and 30th April when fully vaccinated Kiwis and foreign travelers will be able to connect with the rest of the world and return back to New Zealand in an unrestricted manner. The emergence of Omicron on the scene is creating nervousness amongst the long awaiting travelers to be able to return back to New Zealand. In our special interview section for today, we will speak to an esteemed guest from the community about yesterday's news of extension of Auckland's entry into the orange light. As announced by Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern, Auckland and all other red regions, excluding Northland, will be allowed to move into COVID-19 framework setting orange on 30th of December, Thursday. This news has bring forward some mixed responses. Event organizers, they are devastated that they are spending the summer holidays under the red light restrictions. Many event organizers, they have to cancel their events. They have been canceling their events right from September, October, November, and almost December is gone now. So this is expectedly causing a lot of concerns within the event organizers. So to speak on this, we will like to invite Mr. Pritesh Raniga, who is an event promoter and from Forum Films, and he's the man who bring for us Bollywood movies from Bollywood. So welcome to our digital show, Pritesh. How are you today?
I'm good, Sandeep. Thank you for having me here.
सो प्रीतेश जी, सबसे पहले हम ये जानना चाहेंगे जो कल की जो अनाउंसमेंट हुई थी, व्हाट वाज द इम्पैक्ट ऑन यू एज एन इवेंट प्रमोटर?
Yeah, I mean, we were planning promotional activities and thinking of having events. And normally, ये जो time range होते हैं towards early Christmas, December, and unfortunately, we can't do anything. So we have taken a lot of step back.
Right. So now we all know that the hospitality industry and the event industry has been taking the biggest burden of keeping all Aucklanders and New Zealanders safe. So
जी,
आप लोग तो शायद पिछले 4 महीने से वैसे ही मूवीज नहीं आ रही थी, मूवीज नहीं चल रही थी, तो इतना फ्रस्ट्रेशन था. सो
जी.
आपकी एक्सपेक्टेशंस क्या थी? हैव यू एक्चुअली रिटन टू गवर्नमेंट और हैव यू अप्रोच टू गवर्नमेंट रिक्वेस्टिंग फॉर एनी फेवरेबल रिस्पांस फ्रॉम देम?
No, we didn't do that, but we were thinking along with the cinema partners कि there will be a change where we will be able to go into the orange light by 15, but now we have lost that potential 15 days as well. So that definitely has affected all of us together.
Surely. And the 15 days that we are talking about are the most crucial days for the hospitality and the event industry, right
Correct.
in the middle of vacations. So, आप जो गवर्नमेंट ने जो डिसीजन लिया है, बहुत लोग ऐसा बोलते हैं कि जो एक्सपर्ट्स की एडवाइस थी, बट गवर्नमेंट हैज एडेड एन एक्स्ट्रा लेयर ऑफ कॉशन टू delay the entry into orange light by another 15 days. So do you support that at all, or you would have reservations on government's extra caution?
I think I would have preferred कि we have done our dash of trying to reach the 90% of vaccination. So I think कि Auckland did deserve to shift earlier and not waited that 15 days. And that would have helped many people along the industry as well. चाहे वो cinema staff हो गए या entertainment staff हो गए, they will not be able to work as many hours and money in their pockets would be less, especially during this Christmas period as well.
Fair enough. And from what we have been hearing from others, but we would like to know from you that government is actually, not even following their own advice. Like the red light system need to be in red light when the health system is overwhelmed. But जैसा हम सुनने में आ रहा है कि right now with just around 80 cases every day or maybe 100 cases every day, our health system is doing fine. So एक जो general expectations है हॉस्पिटैलिटी में, इवेंट इंडस्ट्री में, कि गवर्नमेंट शुड वेरी क्विकली अलाउ to move into orange light, and if they are adding an extra layer of caution, then probably they should compensate by extending some kind of support to your industry. Do you agree with that view?
I definitely think so. Yeah, because it has definitely impacted the expectation of the cinemas कि वो क्या करने वाले थे, and the whole thing had to go again back and had to change a lot of things as well.
Right. Now coming back to what's happening in cinemas right now, हम लोग yeah, I'm one of those who haven't got a chance to be in a cinema hall. So अभी क्या हो रहा है? लोग वहाँ आ रहे हैं मूवी देखने के लिए? Are halls allowed to operate in their full capacity, or what's exactly happening there?
So both the cinema chains in New Zealand are opened and they're trading with bare minimum restriction allowance based on the size of the cinema and the capacity they have. And roughly, I would say थिएटर में आप 50 से लेस परसेंट भी लेकर बैठ सकते हैं. अगर जो फैमिली आती है सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग लेकर, it is becoming very hard for the cinemas to plan things as well. How the audience will come in, how the audience will go out, and कितने आदमी tickets ले सकते हैं. So there's a lot of restrictions that movie goers are not able to go to the cinema because they cannot get the tickets because there's only 20 tickets they can buy, and those are the 20 lucky ones who can watch the movies, whereas the others who still want to watch the movie or still want to go out with the family जा नहीं सकते because there's no space.
Sure. So it's another way of restriction of commercial activity that we are seeing, and
जी.
probably government seems to have not planned, on a sector-wise basis to support events, events industry and cinema industry like yours. Now coming back to you, Pritesh ji, जैसा कि हम जानते हैं कि आप हमारे लिए बॉलीवुड से मूवीज लेकर आते हैं. सो बॉलीवुड मूवी सेगमेंट में क्या चल रहा है? आर वी गेटिंग इनफ मूवीज इन द कंट्री? आर यू गेटिंग इनफ व्यूअर्स from our community? Because from what we know that there is some very good movies coming lately, and there is a lot of craze for the moviegoers to go and watch those movies.
Gee, so I think when Auckland went into lockdown and we suffered a huge loss, and we could not release mega movies like Surya Vanshi and Hosla Rak, and there are many to name as well. And people in Auckland or audience in Auckland could not even watch them as well. And so the impact was huge. These movies were committed 2 saal pehle, and when they came out, we couldn't release it. People couldn't watch it, and it had a huge impact to everyone, including the distributors, the exhibitors, and the people who work there as well. All people who are associated with us in terms of entertainment industry, radios, media partners, and everyone. Everyone suffered quite badly.
Right. Okay. Now, since this red light red light thing has been extended for another 15 days,
Yeah.
and it is causing disappointment to you, we do understand. But what we want to know from you is that what exactly you are preparing, or how exactly you are preparing for once Auckland enters into orange light starting of 31st of December.
Yeah, with our industry, it's slightly difficult and hard because it's basically like once a movie is released, it's out there, and that whatever is coming out in this period, Pushpa the Rise or whatever it is, they won't get a chance to come and go back into the cinema. So basically, we will suffer a loss regardless of what happens.
राइट, तो मतलब ये है कि जो नई मूवी आने वाली थी, अगर आप उसे थिएटर में नहीं दिखा पाए तो लोग कैसे ना कैसे करके उसको देख ही लेंगे. सो
जी.
आई थिंक या फॉर द नेक्स्ट 15 days they are gone. Now, last question before I let you go, Pritesh ji, how
जी.
hopeful you are that in the new year, in the early first month, you would be able to do some kind of business under the orange light system?
I hope so. It is very uncertain when we expect something, and there's always an extension, and there's always a layer of protection that comes out. So we are still very uncertain कि क्या decision 1st जनवरी को या 31st दिसंबर को हम orange में रहेंगे कि red में रहेंगे, क्या होगा. It's very difficult to understand that.
Right. Okay. Now I completely understand, Pritesh ji. This is definitely very uncertain time, which is probably, yeah, since without adequate planning and support and certainty coming from government, especially for sector like yours, it is adding more worries and more concerns. We do understand. Anyways, thanks for joining us today and sharing your concerns, sharing your story. We do appreciate that. We wish you all the best. Hopefully, we can get into orange zone soon, and your industry picks up. Thank you very
Yes.
much for joining us today.
Okay, Sandeep. Thank you.
Thank you. So, this is Sandeep along with my production team at Weekender at 5.